Hey everybody, it's David and Elizabeth. We have finally made it to Africa. We couldn't be happier to be here, and we have arrived with all 21 of our bags that we brought with us.
Yes, we had 21 pieces of luggage. We were really nervous going to the airport because obviously that's way more than we're allowed. We were traveling with my parents, so we did have 5 of us. But yeah, a lot of them were overweight, and like I said, we had more than we were allowed. So thankfully, we got through without having to pay any fees, no overweight charges. It was awesome. So
big thank you to KLM.
They were really great. Thank you. And yeah, we were interested to see how Ruby would do with all these flights. And she actually did awesome. She was a pretty happy little toddler,
Minus
little 2-year-old.
The not sleeping part.
Yes. You know, we figured she would eventually sleep on one of the flights, but, well, she did fall asleep once, and that was after, I think we flew from Toronto to Amsterdam. And we had landed in Amsterdam, and as soon as we started taxiing to get to our gate, she fell asleep. So that was like a 10-minute sleep. And anyways, she was still okay.
So here's a couple clips of us in the airport and on the planes.
So we landed in the Entebbe airport in Uganda, and it was really late. I think we got in like 11 or something, and so by the time we got all of our luggage, all 21 pieces of them, it was past midnight. And so we had tons of luggage carts. My mom and I stood with like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, okay. So my mom and we stood right outside the airport, just kind of guarding like 4 or 5 luggage carts, and the guys were pushing a couple at a time, trying to find where our car was that was meeting us. And so it was my mom, Ruby, and I just waiting outside the airport with tons of people, picking up other people. It was just kind of crazy, surreal feeling, finally getting here, and then it just looking around and seeing Uganda. And to be honest, the first thing that I did when we just stood there and had a few minutes to just think, we were waiting for my dad and David, I stood there and all of a sudden I started to cry. And it wasn't tears of joy or relief, like, yay, I'm here. It was actually tears of fear. All of a sudden this fear came over me. And, you know, this is my baby, my little 2-year-old. And I don't take moving here lightly. You know, I know it's a big step and it's a big thing to do, especially with a young child. And for, you know, the months leading up to us moving here, we definitely heard some negative comments of people. Why would you bring your 2-year-old to Africa? Like, that's so unsafe. And, you know, we definitely had a lot of positive comments, but there are some negative ones. And I think, you know, those negative comments were all coming back to me. And yeah, I was scared, you know. I want my daughter to be safe, but we know that God called us to be here, and we're supposed to be here, and so the safest place for us to be is in God's will, and that's here in Uganda. And so it took me the rest of the night, I would say, to kind of just shake that fear off. But eventually, you know, by the time it was the next morning, the sun came up and I was just looking out over beautiful Uganda, and I had a peace, and I knew we were supposed to be here, and I know, and I am confident that Ruby's going to be okay here. And so far she's thriving, she's having a great time. So.
Yeah, the biggest thing I feel like what's that, Ruby?
Yeah, I was crying.
Just a little bit.
I did cry a little bit. I was a little nervous when I was here.
Where?
What?
What were you nervous about?
I was nervous about moving to Africa because it's so different from Canada. But we like it here, don't we?
Mm-hmm. We still like it.
Yeah, we like it, and we're safe, and we love it here, don't we?
But I need to set this animal pack.
Okay, you keep cleaning.
The storm.
So we spent one night in Kampala, and the next day we had the drive from Kampala all the way up to Gulu. And thankfully they've refinished the roads now, so it's a smooth drive, but it's still about 5 hours to get from Kampala all the way up here. We had a great drive. It was great to see everything in Kampala again, to see all the street side vendors and all the craziness that goes on the roads here. And we have some video clips of that we'll show you just after this. And we also saw some baboons on the way up, which was exciting. Ruby's first time seeing that, so she was thrilled. And yeah, it was a great drive up, and finally got to the World Embrace compound, unpacked our stuff, and now we're settled in. We feel like, all right, we have a home again, and now our home is here in Gulu, Uganda. So one of the biggest adjustments we had, we've traveled to different time zones before, and we've dealt with jet lag before, but we had never dealt with jet lag with a 2-year-old.
Yes.
Because she didn't get the memo that things are like 7 hours different here. So it would be the middle of the night, we're finally getting to sleep, dealing with our jet lag, and then Ruby is up, wide awake, she wants to play, she wants to get her toys out, and it took a long time.
Yeah, it was a rough 2 weeks. Like, I've never been more tired before, but yeah, it seemed like every time we finally were able to fall asleep, Ruby would be up and ready to play. So that was interesting.
I wanted to be here in 2 minutes. I wanted to go to my family room so I can check out some shows. So I can just watch the show, and I want you to tell me something.
Okay. Probably like midnight.
I mean, I want it. I wanted to go.
What do you want to say?
I wanted to go.
Okay.
I wanted to go in the van sometimes, but I wanted to go and go to my park.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to a playgroup. And I wanted to go to school. And I wanted to go to the airport.
Airport. Wow. Okay. Oh, look, your elephants are hungry. Where are we right now?